Thanks for tuning in to another episode of WGC Fits. Today we are going to talk about the ping fitting chart, color code chart, and kind of just how it's used. A lot of questions about it. So we're going to go over that.
I have lots of questions.
Captain Ballspeed here, full of questions as always.
Well, so I was looking at what's in the bag for people, and I noticed Tony Finalizing plays a silver dot. Is it?
So it is 4 up, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
He doesn't play very long clubs though, does he?
Half-inch over, I think, or quarter inch.
Quarter inch. And Tony Finau's
6'4".
I was like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah,
he's a big boy.
Yeah.
So it's that alone would deviate a little bit from what this says, right?
Yeah.
Now we've taken some measurements from you. We are 6'3".
Yeah.
And we have a 39-inch
wrist to floor.
Yeah. So that, according to this, would put us at plus a half an inch and 5 degrees upright.
What, really?
Yes.
Oh,
maroon dot, right? So that's not really what we ended up putting you in.
No.
Right? And I'll say that this is kind of how I use it. And if you ask someone at Ping, they're going to probably say something pretty similar. This is a good reference point to start. All right?
Okay.
But we also have to take into account kind of tendencies of the player and kind of what the player's trying to do. So before we go over what the actual specs that we put you in, let's just hit a few shots and let's see what this type of club will do for you.
All right.
All right. So this is, we couldn't get exactly into this setup because that's a rather extreme setup, but it's pretty close. So let's see what happens here.
Wow, it even cut.
Hit pretty well.
Yeah.
Right? No issues with that.
Oh, this is a Blueprint S, sorry.
Blueprint S with a Dynamic Gold 120X100.
Which I like this shaft.
Shaft that you've typically done pretty well with.
Did you like that one, AJ?
It wasn't bad. It was a little less target for you, but it wasn't bad. Now, we also know you like this iron. This is an iron that in the past you've done relatively well with. Get one more like this.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
So if Mr. Ian was a robot, no, that's good. We'll leave that in. That's perfect.
That's fine.
If you were a robot, right, and everything was completely neutral, then we know that this would work perfectly, right?
Yeah.
Now, what's Mr. Ballspeed over here not?
Not like?
Yeah.
Oh, not a robot.
Not a robot, right? We both know that, for as good of a player as you are, we still have some tendencies and stuff that we'd like to not see on the golf course and some things that you're trying to do.
Like
you hate seeing the ball go left.
Well, it's
right?
not great.
I don't like seeing the ball go left either, right? Nobody likes left. And there's a difference between hitting a draw and hitting a hook, right?
Yeah, we don't like hooks.
These are not draws. These are hooks, right? You're not super comfortable getting the ball to start right of target.
Like that. Like that was me without fighting it.
And that's not in the past, that's not been a very comfortable shot for you to do or start to execute, if you will.
Still
right?
isn't.
So we know that we can't really set you up to have something that's going to draw this much. Yeah. So this is where we're going to talk about how lie and length kind of get you to a similar window.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, the reason I wanted to do this video is because my problem is always handle raise.
And we're going to get there because if we just chase upright with a guy like you who raises the handle,
I could do this.
You're just going to get more and more and more upright. I used to do the same thing, right? I mean, I've had clubs that were silver before.
Yeah.
That didn't work too well. Ball went really, really left. So basically how it would work is if we go flatter and we extend that club by, let's say, half an inch, that club is going to perform relatively similarly at impact as a standard length, standard light club would.
Yes.
And then if we go shorter by a half inch, and then we make that club 1 degree upright, let's say, or a blue dot, that club also will perform relatively similarly to a standard golf club at impact.
Okay.
Right? But we have to take into account where we want our hands, in this case for you, to actually be during impact. Right?
Yeah.
What's up?
Can I know what the lie angle is on that one? Because I'm wondering if I just actually squared the face or I just kept handle raising it.
You cannot. You didn't read.
Oh. Okay, one more.
But it's okay. You always pick the handle up a little bit, right? And that's okay. You don't want to necessarily change that. So
like, what was that one? If it would tell me. That's fine. Give it to me, Trackman.
Nope.
But I'm getting used to it.
You are getting used to it. You can adjust, right? Yeah. You're a good player. You're going to adapt. But what we end up, let's talk about what we actually did with your clubs and how it would compare to this.
Okay.
So what is the actual specs of the clubs we fit you into recently?
3/4 inch long. Mm-hmm. And I bent them 1.5 degrees upright to 2.
So they're 2 degrees up right now? Yeah. Okay. So this would want you at
1 in the wedges.
And that's okay, because this, in terms of iron, wants you at 5 degrees upright, and it wants you at plus 1/2 inch.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've gone longer, but we've taken away some of that upright.
Yeah.
Right? And in total, that allows you to stand nice and tall, maintain proper spine angle, keep your hands higher, because we know you're going to do that anyways, and square it up a little better. Right? Correct. Why don't you hit a couple with one of yours, and let's just see what it looks like.
Okay. I don't know. I'm starting to like it.
It's not bad, right? Like I said. But again, you don't want to see the draw, typically.
No, draws for me are bad.
Yeah. And that's the job of a fitter to try to establish and understand for a player, right? What does the player want to actually see?
I think the wind pushed that one, but...
So you just ruined the whole video.
No, the wind pushed it. Wait.
I'm playing. You're good.
There you go.
Yeah. This is more or less what we expect to see.
Yeah. And then that's just my miss right now with my club path. But that's my miss.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's not as left as you were going before.
No.
You know? Now, this is another very important thing to kind of think about, right?
That one I like.
Ground interaction.
Yes.
I heard and we saw with that club that was crazy upright.
Yeah, there were some noises.
You definitely got a couple of those little diggy. Now, could you describe where you felt it dig?
The leading edge.
Was it leading? Well, was it heel or was it toe-sided?
Oh, where I hit it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was just up here.
No. Where did you feel the club digging a little bit? Could you tell a difference?
Yeah.
So to me, I would have guessed that was probably a little heely at times. You were digging that heel a little bit at times.
But that's the weird thing, because with these, I do enter toe first.
And that's okay. You're going to.
Yeah.
Right? You pick the handle up. Right? Some of the better players in the world pick the handle up. That's not a problem. Yeah. Not a problem.
No.
You know? Your contact is definitely more consistent when we go longer and slightly less upright.
Yeah.
You know? Just important things to know. And we get a ball flight that makes more sense for what you want to see.
Yeah.
If we compare both of those ball flights real quick, right? I definitely want the orange circle over the white circle.
Yeah.
You know? Just more consistent. And it's because you're technically at a dynamic center more often than not with that setup.
I'm not disagreeing, sir. Oop. Well, that one disagreed with you.
No, that was a pull. That wasn't a hook. That was a Captain Ball Speed bad swing there.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, that's actually still less shape and not as far left as you've gone.
That is correct.
You know?
All right, we'll give it one more. That's just where I'm hitting it today.
So what do you think?
Oh, I like what I got.
Any other questions about the ping chart?
No.
Good starting point.
I just wanted,
but it's worth diving into a little bit deeper.
It's not that far off from where we finished.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just got to dive in a little deeper, like we said.
Yeah.
You know? Thanks for liking and subscribing. Thanks for checking out the video. If you have any more questions like this about any weird fitting stuff, please let us know. I'm not sure, did this question come from the comment section or not?
No.
Ian? This one didn't? Okay. But I know we got a couple more lined up that are going to be like that. So please let us know. Like I said, questions, always appreciated. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.